on?
What? What? Oh man, are we gonna have a second sloppy day in a row?
No, it's done after here.
All right, there we go.
Sloppy steaks.
Hey, what do you know? What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Winners Line. Let's go! Presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR whenever you sign up. How we doing our bets tonight, fellas? I didn't even look.
Oh, we did good, of course.
Did we?
Yes,
Are you
we
just saying that?
No, we actually did. It was a Jokic night.
You said triple-double.
That was my lock as well.
I actually wasn't here for the pregame.
You know what's funny? I don't remember that. I've already forgotten. That's right. It was me and you. hey, me and you. You gave me that triple-double bet. I hit it.
I hit my bets. Do we care about that? You want to hear my same game
God.
parlay?
Nobody cares.
So what happened?
Guys, this was an incredible one. Two of us were courtside. I'm not going to say which one wasn't, because that would be unfair.
Let's just say
you guys guess. Who do you think was courtside for today's game?
Out of character.
It was very out of character. That's right. The shoe's on the other foot tonight, Dev. Lowly Dev. I got the fellas, though, with me. We're down here at the bar. We're obviously in a new set. You guys might be looking at this going, why are you guys down here today? Well, a couple of reasons. One, there is an Avs game going on. They're going to be in Studio A. But also tonight was the benefit to support Luis Garcia, the student who was shot and killed outside of Denver East on February 23rd. And so today we ask, I know you guys all want to super chat us. You're welcome to super chat us too. But you can also make a donation. Rather than pay us, guys, we're doing a fundraiser for Luis's family. It's in the description of the show. There's also going to be a little QR code that you can pop up. But there, you can make your donations there. We'd appreciate that if you guys consider that tonight. To help me though tonight. So, guys, I'm telling you right now, me and Dev were on fire in the pregame show.
Oh, yeah.
But I just feel like we were loading. Mm-hmm. We were loading up. Like, that was a teaser. That was an appetizer. We are going to clown Joel Embiid tonight on the postgame show because he deserves it. Help me do that. I got Superstar Dev.
I was not courtside. God damn it. I was professional tonight.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was at the media. I'm rubbing elbows. I was at Andy Bailey. Andy Bailey has one message and one message only.
Yes.
Eric, please follow him.
You don't follow Andy Bailey?
Wow.
Are you getting called out?
You're the worst.
Are you getting called out?
I said, yeah, he's like that. He's Hollywood.
Unbelievable. What a terrible move. I feel ashamed to introduce
that's my
our
boy.
next panelist.
That is my boy.
D-Line Co.
Guys.
What a hater.
First off, very embarrassed. Second off, came across an artifact at the game tonight. I don't know if you've seen something like this. Turns out there was a missing person at the... I don't know if we want to do an Amber Alert, something like that, but there was a missing alert. Joel Embiid, a.k.a. The Process. Descriptions: no MVPs, no first-team All-Stars.
Man.
Tall.
Yeah, tall. Yeah.
Last seen in Denver, 2019.
Man,
so
it's been a while. I don't know.
out.
That's a cold case right there.
Yeah, keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes
That's
out.
a very cold case.
They're not going to crack that.
Hold that up to the camera, though, real quick. Let everybody, I know everybody probably saw this on, it was going viral. Hilarious night, man. I got to say, tonight is like... Tonight is something else, man. Tonight is something else. I don't even have a fast breakdown for you. And to be honest with you, would you really care? Does this game have details?
No.
We're going to discuss them, I guess.
We are going to discuss the details. But, I mean, basically, we got the word this morning that Joel Embiid was not going to play. Not going to play, guys. He's too banged up to play. I mean, I know he played the other night. He's been playing, and... You know, I know he did some interviews where he talked about, disparaging remarks about Nikola Jokic and analytics and stat padding and like all this that. But he didn't play tonight. And then right before tip, equally as weak, it was James Harden was a late scratch. So they roll out a team that was featured Tyrese Maxey, who, by the way,
was incredible.
Dominated the Denver Nuggets tonight. Didn't they play... They played last year without their main guys, right? And Maxey went off and won. Do you remember this?
I mean, I remember that Joel Embiid didn't play, if that's what you're asking.
No, that was like the Tyrese Maxey game. It was like the first time that we got introduced to him because it was like him and Isaiah Joe or somebody like that had a good game. It might have been early, maybe the year before. It's been that long since we've seen Embiid.
And all since, I know, it's so stupid. It's so dumb.
Would we even be able to identify him at this point if we saw him on the court?
Well,
Not Denver.
A lot of people said they didn't see him on the bench tonight. I was looking for him. It's been a while since I've seen him, so I don't know.
In pregame from courtside, I was like, is that Joel Embiid? Montrezl Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell once asked, who's the best center in the NBA? This was while he was on the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah.
You know what his answer was?
Was it Paul Reed?
No, it was not Paul Reed.
Dwayne Dedman?
No, it wasn't Dwayne Dedman. It was Nikola Jokic. He told a state trooper that, actually. A very weird conversation to get leaked. Nonetheless, so Maxey went off tonight anyway, and, you know, my honest first take on this game was when it came out that those guys weren't playing, first I was just so, like, furious. I was livid. I was just like, this is so pathetic. We're going to get to that in a little bit. We're going to rag on that. We'll probably spend a whole segment just ragging on how weak and pathetic and unimpressive
You
and
forgot
lame
embarrassing.
and embarrassing.
Yeah.
I think he was working up to that. Yeah.
We're going to talk about all of the different adjectives we could use to describe this. But when that happened, I was like, first I went there, and then second I went, oh, crap, Denver's not going to try very hard tonight. This is going to be an ugly game. Wasn't necessarily the case, though. Denver was a little shaky, you know, for most of this game. To close the second, start the third, they just, like, my God, smacked the absolute hell out of them. You guys want to talk about this game?
Sorry, I'm busy following Andy Bailey.
Bailey jumped in.
I actually just made one of those comments where you could go anywhere with it. The Nuggets, when they made their run at the end of the second and then in the third, it was just like, it was a haymaker. They went from like up 5 to up 20 like that, and the 76ers, like, it's funny, I was sitting right behind the coaching staff, so I was right there. They went from yelling out everything, cover, rip, step up, show, to like nothing. Then there was like, after Denver went up like 15 and then just kind of sat there, nobody said a word. So I was like, oh, they quit.
Yeah, that was the type of game where Denver just got bored. They really did get bored in that game. They started out probably amped up throughout the day that they were going to be able to show how they are against Embiid and the 76ers, who are a formidable team in the Eastern Conference, especially coming off of a win against the best team in the NBA. So you're hyped up, you're ready for that, and then the news comes in. Then you're like, okay, James Harden, he's still good. That's
right.
an all-star we're going to play against. Nope, he also sits out. So then it's like, how do I hype myself up for this type of performance, for this type of game? So they came out flat, expectantly. And then, they turned on that switch, that same switch that we said many times that they don't have, which we've seen them turn on against the Bucks. Got bored in the game, then turned it on, domination, and then they got bored again. That's just how I sum it up. That was the fast recap.
Thank you. That was a good fast recap.
That was scintillating.
So, but just analyzing the game, before we get to your personal experience from where you were, just
Courtside?
Thank you. The Nuggets tonight, when they did go into attack mode, I mean, it was like we saw the good Nuggets again for a short stint.
I mean, yes. Jamal Murray was incredible. Michael Porter Jr. was great. Nikola Jokic was efficient, dominant, exactly what the Nuggets needed. Christian Brown was incredible in this game. They just, everything was clicking for the Nuggets in that third quarter again, which is crazy because that's generally speaking like the worst time for the Denver Nuggets, the third quarter. And then they went back into chill mode. They have a switch. They have a chill mode switch. They went into full chill mode.
The good news is the Nuggets have a switch.
They do.
The bad news is
it's like there's a hair trigger on that switch.
They are so quick to turn that. They're like a dad. I know this as being a dad. Like, you left the light on, turn that light off. Like, they never let that switch be on.
They really are. They're really, really energy conscious.
Very energy conscious, man. They really are. Let's talk about the dunk tonight, man.
Which?
Well, there was a couple. Zeke Naji had a great one.
He had two great ones.
Zeke Naji, man, he attacks the rim hard.
Jeff Green had two good ones.
Did he? Oh, yeah, he did have the transition
That's
dunk.
not the
You're
one
right.
we're talking about.
Neither of these are the ones I'm talking about. The one I'm talking about,
Christian Brown.
Christian Brown could have tonight. From my angle, I didn't have the best angle on it because I was directly in front of it, like very close. So I felt like I was looking straight up at him. It looked like he could have jumped his feet into the hoop. That's how high up it looked. How did it look from your angle?
It looked like a white man can jump. I was shocked. I could not believe it. Everyone says that they can't, and they can. He was flying out there. Really, that was crazy. When you look at the end of the game, that play I thought was worth more than 2 points.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets thought so too. I think they were like, "Oh, finished." Like that's like
the game is over. That was a dagger.
Mortal Kombat, the finish him move. They did that. And they're like,
fatality.
Game's over, and there's like 7 minutes left.
Yeah.
Nobody told the Nuggets.
I mean, I don't trust my own racial bias when analyzing that dunk because it was unbelievable. It was like the most devastating dunk I've ever seen.
And then right after that, he followed it up with a 3 too.
Yes, I said it was Christmas in Browntown.
It was Christmas in Browntown. Honest to God, though, like that dunk. A 10 out of 10? Like the top dunks of the year, Aaron Gordon on Christmas Day, Jeff Green's devastating dunks. He has 2 of them, Jeff Green. You've got Vlatko from the foul line, and I would put the Christian Brown one in that as well. Is there other dunks I'm forgetting?
Yeah, the best dunk of the year. The Grateful Dead. You know what I'm saying? Those dunks, baby. Those are the ones.
How do we both
Put it back up. Bring it back up so the people can see. These are the ugliest shoes I've ever seen in my life.
No
Little
way.
teddy bears.
These
Grateful Dead.
First off,
Grateful Dev. My bad.
yeah, you have to name one Grateful Dead song.
Yep.
The day is done.
Oh, it's a great song.
That sounds so good. That could be. Actually, you know what? I can't say he's wrong.
Those also look. Those shoes look as though they belong to teddy bears.
They really do.
But yeah, I mean, this what in the third quarter, people around me were like, "This looks like the All-Star game."
There was a lot of dunks.
The Nuggets were just throwing it down like mercilessly over and over and over. And actually, I felt like the game changed for the worse on that missed dunk by Jeff Green.
What was that?
I don't know.
It just stopped. Everything stopped. He stopped. I think it was just a ripple effect. He's just like, what is happening here?
Well, Doc Rivers, because if people that didn't watch the show or didn't watch the game, Denver was up massive. I mean, they win the first quarter 25-18. They go into the half. They lose a little bit in the second quarter, but in the third quarter, they outscore them 30-20, and it was over. And then even to start the third, as we're mentioning, this is when all these dunks and plays are happening. Denver was up 20. They might have been up more than 20, but they were up 20, and it all collapsed. Doc Rivers emptied his bench. He brought in Montrezl Harrell. He brought in our guy, Jaden Springer. Maybe we were right about Jaden Springer.
Oh, my God, dude. Jaden Springer performed here in Denver. Jaden did every night.
Jaden Springer was a plus 11 in 6 minutes. I'm not kidding. He put him in, and all of a sudden Denver magically, it wasn't even like he was good. He had 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist.
The worst part is the starters were in.
But I think that's why they went on that type of run. Like, one team was like, all right, let's just, let's give up. We're not even trying. Let's try to embarrass them. We're not even trying. The other team went into chill mode. And that's when the game just kind of altered. It wasn't even that they were playing hard. It was just one team was not playing at all.
I don't even want to analyze it, though, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
that was as much of a game is over, and then they climb back, and it's like, oh, my God, is it going to get crazy? And it didn't. The one thing I'll analyze from that.
This was like my GPA the semester I graduated from high school and college.
And it's like, are you doing okay? You're like, yeah, I'm graduating. I quit carrying, and I'm going to cross the finish line. It's fine. The one thing that was interesting was Michael Malone did not put Aaron Gordon back into the game. He left Jeff Green out there. Jeff Green tonight, by the way, a minus 15. A lot of that was the collapse. I mean, they went on like a 12-point. So he wasn't like he was bad the whole game, but he wasn't, he missed the dunk, and then Denver just kind of unraveled from there. But I don't think that this game needs a whole lot of analysis. This was a not very good team. When they didn't have Embiid, they didn't have Haden. And it was Denver played hard for 5 minutes. They put the game away in those 5 minutes, and the rest of it was just window dressing.
You know what part of the game at that moment that I did enjoy, or just like one of my takes on the game, was Denver has showed time and time again, like Tyrese Maxey, we could take him. We could take Tobias Harris. They got off to a hot start. Tyrese Maxey had 23 points in the first half. Denver shut the door on them in the second half, where he finished with 28. He had 5 seconds. They tried on that end of the floor. They tried. That's when they just shut it down. So they went for that. The second unit came in, and the bench mob is what they're called. They came in and got it closer. So yeah, I like the fact that Denver made it a point to just slow them down like they did against Giannis a couple of nights ago.
Yeah. A couple notes, other notes from this one. I think the Nuggets as players got whiplash from the last game to this one. How physical was that game against Milwaukee? Unbelievable.
It was
playoff game, going at each other, but it was just physical. Like the refs allowed a lot of contact, and it was just this tonight very tightly called game. So many tic-tac fouls, such low energy. The game, usually I always say sitting courtside, you realize how physical the game is. Man, they were not physical at all. Yoke was in first gear. He might have gone into the low first gear. He might have been in park tonight playing. That's how easy this game was tonight. Yeah. And it was just, and then there was all these ticky-tack fouls both ways. Denver was the beneficiary of a bunch of them. And I just kept thinking man, the NBA is so weird that you can go to Giannis, Jokic, Brook, all these guys just battling to whatever tonight was, a rec league game.
It is hilarious. The more hilarious thing is when you compare what you're able to do to a center versus what you're able to do to a guard in this league. Like a guard, like you literally cannot touch them. And a center, you can look like you can do to Nikola Jokic what has happened to the back of his arms. Just like night after night. It was. I was courtside, so it did seem very physical. But I know what you mean. Like, to the average viewer, it would seem less physical. I agree with that.
Just because I know you're itching to get into it.
What are you talking about?
Give us your courtside experience tonight. I want to hear your courtside.
Oh, me? I sat courtside. Did I mention that? Did that come up?
No.
So my man Dave in D.
Dave in D-Town.
Dave in D-Town, friend of the show, friend of me. I think we're best friends now. We went to Club Lexus, no big deal.
Club Lexus. I've always wanted to go there.
Yeah, got a wristband on here. I might head back there later, see if they'll let me in.
Oh, awesome. How was Club Lexus?
So I put together the most ill-fitting, ridiculous plate of food that's ever been seen.
I've always wanted to go there.
I felt like a child that was let loose at Golden Corral. I had a plate.
At the Golden Corral?
The first thing I started off with nachos as my base.
That was your base?
Yeah, that's a solid base.
I didn't really plan ahead.
How were the nachos?
They were great. A very base level. Cheese, pico. That's it.
That was all you did?
Listen, man, my eyes were quite wide.
Okay,
I was
all
head
right.
on swivel. Then I got some chicken piccata. Then I got a pepper. Then I got a pepper steak.
Okay, a pepper steak.
And then I got a hot dog.
Oh wow! Wait, then you got a hot dog?
Yeah, this is horrible.
And then I grabbed
the stacking of foods is
and then I grabbed a
rough.
can of Starry because I
What is
hadn't had
that?
before. It's the Sierra Mist replacement. It's Sierra Mist.
Oh yeah.
It's called Starry? Is it not called Sierra Mist anymore?
Then I got a beer.
I didn't even heard this story.
And before I went in, I grabbed a handful of candy.
What kind of candy?
Reese's Cups.
Just a handful like that?
Yeah, that's right. And then I put it in my pocket.
Wow, that's amazing.
And then I walked in, I saw Ryan Blackburn, and I gave him a high five. And then he was like, hey, watch out. And I turned around, and then Aaron Gordon walked by me, and he's a lot bigger than I am.
You were shocked by this?
I was shocked by it, yeah.
But how was, when you sit there, you always get a little bit more. You always get a little bit more. Like, what'd you pick up on tonight?
I sat right by the bench.
Yeah.
And so I just was watching the interpersonal dynamics between the Denver Nuggets. Like,
all right.
After the first time that Michael Porter Jr. came out, he and Bruce Brown were like bickering with one another because Bruce was mad that he was open for three and Mike didn't pass it. And Mike was like, telling him he's like, I was open, back off. And then the coaches had to get involved. It was very weird. And then Mike was like pouting for a lot of the game, and then Aaron Gordon looked sad. I think probably because he didn't get a handful of candy, I would guess. I would have shared it. He didn't ask. And then I was watching Jokic, it was just like, I don't know. I felt like I wasn't supposed to be there. The other thing is weird is that they could also see me. And so that was weird.
Do you think that they were like, is that D-line Co?
I swear to God, I looked at Jamal Murray and I swear to God he knew who I was.
What did he do?
No, he went like this. He went, which made it seem even more real.
Yeah. So, I know many people are wondering why we're talking about that part of it. That was the moment that we should have been talking about the Embiid versus Jokic matchup.
You're right. Yeah, that
would
would have been more interesting.
We had to fill it with something else that was interesting because we didn't get to see that. Why didn't we get to see it?
You're right.
Why did we
Instead
get to
of
see
talking about me eating a hot dog with a pepper steak, we should have been talking about Embiid versus Jokic in a classic.
We all dreamed about it.
MVP
Everybody
show.
is here for that matchup.
You know what?
It was a packed house.
You know what it was? We were all excited for that, but we didn't get it. Let's talk about that. Why don't we on the other side? Let's complain about losers in Losersville on the other side. First, you guys see right there, Luis Garcia fundraiser all night long here at the DNVR Bar, 10% of proceeds. And then, of course, anything you want to donate to the GoFundMe for the family of Luis Garcia. We always appreciate it. You guys, you know who was not Backus and Schenker tonight? Embiid,
James Harden.
And Harden and Embiid were not Backus. They're the opposite of Backus and Schenker. So if you think about Harden and Embiid, the opposite end of the spectrum is Backus and Schenker. You guys know them, of course. They win for Colorado families, helping those who are seriously injured in Colorado for more than 25 years. Free until they win money in your case. No upfront fee to speak. about your case. No fees while you work on your case. No fees unless you win your case and win money for you. Backus & Shaker has won over $1 billion for their clients over the years, and now they have even more locations serving all of Colorado, including neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Inglewood, and Fort Collins. Backus & Shaker, the strength and power to win your case, more than 30 years and 100 staff. Also going to tell you guys about Roman. Going to tell you guys about my first Roman read here. Talk about it here. A lot of guys want a better sex life.
Okay.
Actually, I would say almost every guy is looking for maximum sex life potential.
Care to comment?
True.
Roman is here.
Is this a true or false?
Roman is here to help. Roman is the digital health clinic for men, addressing a variety of sexual health needs and offering genuine medication that helps achieve and maintain a strong erection. Roman offers discreet wipes that help you last 4 times longer in bed. Also, men with low T, getting testosterone levels back to normal can help increase your libido. Libido or libido? What do you say?
No one on earth says libido, so that's a good mnemonic
just
device.
make that up. Libido.
That's how I'll remember that. Libido. Roman offers a testosterone test, which includes lab processing, and if it's appropriate for you, treatment for low testosterone. No waiting rooms, no hassle. Straightforward digital experience from the comfort of your home. To learn more about how you can achieve your personal sexual health goals, go to row.co/DNVR. row.co/DNVR to get 20% off your first order. We got something in the chat here?
No, just you fumbling through the simplest URL that's ever been given.
row.co.
RO.co.
It looked like it was a typo.
No, it's quite simply the most easy to remember URL of all time. Row.co.
There you go. All right, guys. I was going to make a Roman joke.
I know about Embiid. Me too. Let's go.
Should we just let it marinate for a second till one comes to us?
Everyone think of your own.
You know who was not up for tonight's game?
Let's go.
Speaking of soft, which one do you want me to go with here?
I like the soft one.
The soft one.
Yeah.
You want to know the softest move I've ever seen in the history of sports? Happened this very day. I mean, you guys saw DraftKings earlier. Embiid's the favorite. Jokic now second. Giannis third. Giannis, I got to give him credit. He came into Denver on the second night of a back-to-back. I mean this sincerely about Giannis. What do we always say we appreciate most about him? He always plays hard. When he's on the court, there's no is he not feeling it today, emotional funk, or he didn't bring it, or he played soft on that court. He always plays hard. He doesn't always play well, doesn't always play skilled. He's got his own flaws, but he plays hard and he steps up. Joel Embiid tonight, dropping an article with Shams Charania. To call it an article is doing it a lot of work. There was a bunch of you lob up softball questions and then a guy gets to sit up there and hit him home. He talked about analytics. He talks about the MVP. Well, I don't know. The goalposts always move for some players, but not for me. They must not like me very much. Analytics, they should tell you the eye test is actually better than analytics. Stat padding, some players stat pad in this league and this or that. Defense, does nobody care about defense? Look at how good I play. I should be first team all defense. Talks all that mess, does everything but call Jokic out, which, by the way, is its own cowardly move. Honestly, right?
Yes.
Who was he talking about today in that article when he was mentioning some players are 2-time MVPs but haven't ever won a championship? Who do you think he was referencing?
Charles Barkley?
Yeah, nope, one-time MVP. He all but called him out, which was its own soft thing to not just go ahead and say, I think I'm better than Jokic. But then he follows it up by just not playing. Give me a break, man. I don't care about the MVP. But now I do.
Yes.
I just don't want him to win.
That's exactly what happened to me. I am completely resigned from the MVP conversation. I took an ode of silence. I'm done. I don't want to talk to the city of Philadelphia. I don't want to yell at it. Whatever. And then I wake up, as we all did, to see the series of campaigning articles drop. Jokic has problems with his game. Embiid is actually much more deserving. He blah blah. And the worst part, as you mentioned, he used the exact talking points that have been circulating throughout the media. He was responding directly to the nonsense we've been dealing with and trying to build on it. And then, an hour later, he was out. I was enraged. I didn't know what to do with myself. All I could do was just fire off borderline offensive tweets, one after the next.
Were any of them too far?
Yep. For sure. The first one was great.
Oh, no. What was it? I want to hear this.
# bitch with 2 eyes.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was too far.
I got a lot of traction on that one, and then later on, when I had a moment of quiet reflection, I was like, too late.
You had already did it. Hold on. Sorry, I just start ducking every single time I think about Embiid. Whenever it comes to my head, I just start ducking. Not only did he didn't play in this game, he also did not make the trip.
No. That's what I would say if I wasn't sitting courtside.
Wait.
Embiid was there at Ball Arena tonight.
No, he was not.
Embiid was spotted at Ball Arena tonight, but he was hiding.
That makes it so much worse.
This is what I was told.
He better not have been there. He actually should go on the same political tour where he says, I did not go to Denver and I got a surgery overnight.
I had to get a surgery, but I'm good now.
You have to say something.
I went and saw the LeBron James of Cavs.
Yeah, you have
to go see the LeBron James.
You have to say
of
something
Cavs.
because really, I would have been okay with Jokic just not winning it. I think that would have been okay.
Fine.
If they both played good tonight, like played well, in a respectable manner, like how Giannis just did, I would have been like, okay, he played hard, he matched them, or he played just a little bit less on an injury, or whatever the case may be. But for him to just go on that type of tour, if he didn't say anything today, I would have just been like, okay, he's hurt. But he had the back-to-back. He set the tone. He set the table. And then he decided to not show up.
Terrible.
He decided to not play in the game, not match him. And now on top of that, he has to say something else. We're going to see more of this. It's not like he's just going to just go away. He has to, defend himself. It was cowardly.
As Ryan Koningsberg, our own RK, so eloquently put it, it was generationally soft.
It really was generationally soft, man. That's a great way to put it. I'm telling you, this isn't, to me at least, a small thing, oh, God, that's weak. Hey, players do stuff sometimes, you kind of roll your eyes. To me, this is a defining one. I honestly view him differently.
Me too.
Because of, again, not just ducking the game, really hurt or whatever, but saying everything, going to Draymond, oh, you said Jokic is a tougher cover than me, so I have to play hard in a loss.
Bro.
Just talking that, then going and doing this interview. By the way, do you guys remember, this is the difference, and I tell people this all the time. Jokic doesn't do the circuit. Right at the end of the season or the All-Star break or whatever it is, all these players will go on the circuit. I got to go on to some pods. I got to go do this because I want people to know my side of this. I got to tell my narrative here. Jokic doesn't do that. To him to do that and then duck is like that. It just tells you something about him.
The series of events was just so unbelievable. It would be one thing to go on the publicity tour, to go on the campaign trail, as he's done for the last 2 seasons in a row, which ironically, or maybe not ironically, predictably have ruined his chances. It turns people off. It's this is where you get to the pity, implead stuff. This guy is a dominant force in the NBA. It is so unbecoming to watch him conduct himself like this, especially in these big moments. I mean, if he simply didn't play tonight, that would be one thing. I mean, we would still be outraged, but for the series of events, the days leading up, this morning, the story drops, this drops. He's a co-conspirator in all of this. It wasn't it was just somebody dropped a story he didn't know about. Shams interviewed him.
But also Shams, because I saw somebody say he might have done this interview a week ago and the story just dropped. You guys think Shams isn't an agent of the players?
Of course. He knew exactly when it was going to go up.
He knew exactly when it was going to go. And if he didn't want it to go up, Shams probably, hey, is it cool if I run this the day you guys play each other? Shams is not the pinnacle of journalism, oh, this is a guy that no, he's the guy that does favors for players in exchange for information. So this was very deliberate, and I think it was a misstep. I actually think that he overplayed his hand.
He did.
He overplayed his hand thinking oh, I'll be sly, I'll be slick about this, and I'm going to really drive home the MVP on this one, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And it reminds me, this is my biggest criticism of LeBron James, is that he's just too aware of the story around him, and he tries so hard to craft his own legacy,
and move it.
And he's just failed at doing that for so long. LeBron might be the greatest basketball player we've ever seen, but in his futile attempts to control all parts of the story at all times and be so obsessed with how people perceive him, it's a part that makes you always kind of just question, I don't know, this guy there's something about him that just seems a little bit off. Joel Embiid, to me, that's how I view it tonight. I go, again, you don't play against Jokic, I would have got my jokes off, but I would have got my jokes off. I don't think we would have done a segment on it. But all of these little pieces to me are man, that's a guy that is really scoured the narratives. He was playing all the hits. He was talking about all these things in a way that was like, this guy is trying so hard because he's so hyper aware of how he's perceived. That, to me, is one of the tent poles of loser behavior. And it makes me think, I don't know about this guy, man. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's already been there. Like, the signs have been there.
Yeah.
You're just a little bit shocked by it. And also, now with the narrative, he has to, like, go all in on it. That's what I'm, thinking about moving forward. He can't play in the next game because then it's just like you really just duck that one game. Like, he has to buy all the way in. Yeah. When I was in high school and stuff like that, like I go to a track meet or something like that. The guy would be losing and he like pulls a hammy or something like that. That's what it was like. Like you see that you can't beat the guy, so you're just like, I'm gonna stop. I'm not even gonna run anymore. And it's not that I'm not running because I can't beat him. It's because I lost already. I knew I lost.
But the worst part is that Embiid does not need to do that stuff. Like he is good enough. Like I truthfully, to this point, like I have believe that he has been MVP worthy this year. He has, because he has played in a manner that has shown that he really, really wants it. And I respect that. Like, go out for it and earn it. But he turned the page. He went back to the weird, like, begging for all this stuff that you're like, bro.
He did it last year. Do you remember? He made the circuit last year doing, like, all the little interviews and the one-on-one, and it was just like, this is lame, but whatever. All athletes do it. But they do it again this year and in the way, and it was, again, the whiny, I don't know why. Maybe nobody likes me. It's like, oh, there's a personal thing that the whole world has against me personally. Like, come on, man. People love Embiid.
Yes.
Like Embiid is actually a very well-liked player. It's so lame, and it's just so incredibly weak. I'm so disappointed, honestly.
Me too.
I'm so disappointed in this whole MVP thing, but then for it to kind of come down to this, to me, it's just like, I'm telling you, they could have lost tonight. He still would have been MVP. It's the disappointment because no one thinks Embiid sucks. That's the thing. You can't say he sucks. You can't say, he's not a tough cover every single night. He could have sleptwalked into like 25, 30 in this game.
Easy.
And it would have been like, it didn't look right. It didn't look great, but he still, tried his hardest. He played through an injury. He left it all out on the floor. He saw the matchup that he really wanted, and he went after it. He played through it. Every single, competitor at that type of level would have played through that type of injury because in your mind, that is a playoff atmosphere. Would he have played if it was a playoff game? Yes.
Would he? Do we know that?
But here's the other thing about Embiid that I'm going to say. I'm spending so much time on it because
it's a big deal, man.
I genuinely I love that Harrison, who's so good at this, he tweeted out the basketball gods are always watching thing because this is a total we play to win championships, we play to do this, but we also just play for the spirit of competition and everything. But it makes me go back to, a couple years back, Simmons was really bad in the playoffs. Everybody just kept throwing him under the bus after the series, right? And I can't remember who it was before that, but there was another scapegoat when they lost in the playoffs. And then Embiid goes to the podium and blames, well, if it were Harden, Ben Simmons. Like, he just has done this a lot in the playoffs, and everybody eats it up because there was always a lot of truth. Not even just a kernel. There was always a lot of truth. Embiid played well, and the teammates, came up small. But I always thought to myself, would Jokic do that? Would Jokic go into a playoff and be like, well, Michael Porter really sucked out there?
No.
I have a teammate that's afraid to shoot or can't play D. Like, no way. And it's just like, it's this character thing where you go, I filed all those things away to be like, those were lame, but whatever. But then this stuff tonight, I'm just like, no, man, I think this might be who he is. I just think it might be who he is.
He has little man energy in a giant's body. It's like ridiculous. It is the idea that somebody that's so hulking and so physically dominant and really truly can do as he pleases feels like he needs to resort to these like something I would do.
Right.
And I'm like, guys, let me on the show. And you're like, why? And I'm like, because I'll tell Brandon or something like that. That's like, but Embiid could just like come in and rip the headphones off my head and take place in the show if he wanted to. It's just like, it's bizarre. It's bizarre behavior. Yeah, it feels like, I don't know. It just feels like Embiid has grown up maybe being catered to his entire life or something. I don't know. It's like, it's incredibly soft. It's like what Nurkic would do.
It is what Nurkic would do. I love it. You just combine two of your least favorite centers of all time.
Yeah.
I will say there was a good, the crowd tonight was all right. There was a lot of Sixers fans there tonight. And I got to say, I got to give a shout to my guy, Ryan, and let me get his @ here real quick. Jokic Trip Dube. He's the one that hooked me up with seats tonight. He spent a majority of the night trying to get to the tune of MVP. He tried to get, where's Embiid? Where's Embiid?
That's a good one.
And it was good. He got it a few times, and at the very end of the game, he started right before the Nuggets completely collapsed. He had a good third of the thing. Where's Embiid? I'll say this: really pissed off the coaching staff. You always wonder how much do these guys hear or this or that? Oh, they did not like it. There was a lot of little comments that you could see. They would somebody would say something, he'd be like, "Well, these idiots behind me, these morons." Oh yeah, you guys hate that, don't you?
I mean, I felt that same energy from the Nugget staff just about my presence.
Your presence being there, look at that. I know this guy. I know that guy. He didn't want me to play. He wanted Blacko. Thomas Bryant just glaring at you the whole time.
Thomas Bryant was boring a hole through my skull the whole time.
I couldn't believe it, man. I also say this about 76ers. They must have 50 coaches.
Really?
Yeah, all the Nuggets assistant coaches, we know them. There's 7. When you talk about trainers, this or that. There was probably 50 people on the 76ers had a timeout, and there's half of the stands came onto the court to join the 76ers scrum. That's how many coaches they had.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
2 guys that played basketball.
Yeah.
Why?
Never for the NBA. I just want you to know. I always had 2 coaches. You know
what? Why is it that when a timeout is called, the head coach and the assistant coach walk out on the court and sort of hang out by themselves while the players go to the bench, and then a minute and a half later, then they come back in? Are they just? What is that?
Do you know the answer to this one?
No.
For Malone specifically, I think it's to calm him down. You go out there and then he just.
But every coach does this.
They just yells like this, and then there's the coach that's like, "Hey." But in all sincerity, a lot of the there's assistant coaches whose jobs are ATOs. They have the playbook of, in this situation we go to this or this, and then there's rotation. So I think there's a lot of just out of a timeout, hey, I think we should go to this here. This is what you should do. So you're just kind of game planning, and then you go to the players. Because I'm telling you, here's the thing that people don't realize about NBA coaches. It's not like you saw in movies. It's not like Hoosiers, where you walk onto the court and you're
drunk.
You get out there, and I want to see you. Or,
just grab Jamal by
Malone
his jersey.
goes there, and he says all these things these guys are playing soft, no defense, blah, blah, blah. Then he goes to the court, and he's like, hey, guys. Come on, man. Hey, it's time. Let's, hey, keep your head up. Let's, we're going to go to this play, and, all right. So I think that is it. Any final thoughts here? I mean, we just clowned on Embiid, but he deserves it. Honestly, I've always liked Embiid. I haven't, loved him the way I've loved other players, but I've always liked him. I haven't had anything against him. There's the rivalry, and it's always been, a guy I didn't love to hate. You know what I mean? I didn't love to hate Joel.
Right. You felt like you were on the wrong side of history at a certain point.
No, I just there's guys you hate. There's a lot of players I dislike. You guys watch the show long enough, you probably know who a lot of those players are. But Embiid was never in that category for me. And tonight, I'm not saying he's still not a player I hate, but he's a player I just kind of think's a little bit more of a loser.
Yeah, to finish it off for me on him, I think that he made this a lot easier for me mentally. I feel like Nikola Jokic should be the MVP this year. So when I seen the tides turn, when I seen Embiid start to get that, I was, I'm starting to accept it, but I still want it because I know they're like, no, we don't care about that one. We want the championship. I want both, and I want the Finals MVP as well. I want it all.
We're starving.
So now, say he does win it, I can still go back to this day and just be okay with it. Like, hey. If that's how you want it, it's like winning on a bad call. I'm like, hey, you guys got it. You guys got it.
Yeah.
Embiid lost the real MVP tonight. He might still win an MVP, but it'll be a pity MVP.
He did.
He lost
the backing of the people. He lost the backing of Philadelphia fans today.
Philadelphia even hated it.
Well, I mean,
how can you not?
To their credit, I actually really gained a lot of respect for Philadelphia fans today. They saw it for what it was. They were like, what are you doing? We have been the same way that we always are looking for our guys, for our champions to fight on our behalf. They have been in full throat for 3 years now, just crying, yelling for Embiid to get the respect that they feel like he deserves. And then in this biggest moment, he just completely no-shows. It was embarrassing for if Jokic did that, I would have a really hard time forgiving him. It would take a long time, but I would. He's a top human being. Who am I? I can't. But Joel Embiid is not the top human being. He's fallible. He's man.
Did the odds change? Have the odds shifted yet on DraftKings Sportsbook? They're our next sponsor, so might as well get into it. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Right now, you can download the app, sign up with promo code DNVR. New customers bet $5 and get $2,000 or $200 in bonus bets instantly. We can do the same game, no sweat, same game parlays, where you make a same game parlay, and if you lose, they give you your money back. Guess what? I've been winning that one a lot.
Dude, getting your money back.
Yep.
The ultimate no sweat same game parlay is just one that hits.
The one that hits, well, you mean you still sweated it, though. March Madness, you still got it. Who are we betting on for March Madness now?
Oh, man, I had UCLA. So.
Did you? Yeah, a lot of people did. Nobody had this. I mean, nobody had this Final Four, huh? Like, nobody on Earth had this Final Four. Not a single bracket.
I'm going to shoot you straight, bro. I don't know who's in the Final Four.
How many teams could you name?
That are in the tournament?
Yeah, in the Final Four. In the Final Four.
Literally none. As soon as UCLA went out,
You were done,
I
huh?
was done.
We'll check them out. Official sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NBA with promo code DNVR. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Do we have the odds here for
I'm
DraftKings?
looking.
I want to
Let's
know
see.
the MVP odds of this. I want to know if Yoke's MVP odds have changed.
Are there any more reads? Or are we just
All right, I'll get to Breckenridge Brewery. You guys
Let's
know that?
go.
They're the official beer partner of DNVR. Tonight, you know what? We actually had Breckenridge Brewery in the house. We had one of the reps here.
Okay.
And he bought me an Avalanche Amber. He's like, hey, man, I'm buying some Breck Brews. What's your favorite? And I looked outside and I told him, a little snowy. I said, you have to match the beer to the weather you got. It was a little snowy earlier, so
True.
what did I get? Avalanche Amber.
Let's go.
And then I was asking him, he's going to bring in, we got a chili beer he's going to let me bring in. He's actually, I hooked us up. You know how they have their specialty beers? He's going to bring me a couple samples, some of their specialty ones. I can't wait.
He hooked us up, and he's bringing it for you. Are we just trying to one-up each other on things we got tonight?
I'm just saying, I am a guy that shares my wins. I share them with the homies. Everybody, when I win, all the homies, well, you know that, Dev. I've always been
Everybody
like
knows
that.
Yeah, it's no fun unless the homies get some, right?
You can also go down to the Breck Brew Farmhouse, of course, down there and get some good food, and that's where you can really sample all the different, little small batch and all the different cool stuff they do. So check them out. What did you find out about DraftKings?
Joel Embiid, minus 105.
So it went down from 130 to 105.
Nikola Jokic, plus 110. Very
So,
tight odds.
Very, very tight. That's almost a coin flip.
Getting close.
That's basically, we're almost at a coin flip, boys.
And Jason Tatum, plus 15,000. You might want to sprinkle that vote if you're listening.
What would it take for Jason Tatum to win the MVP at this point?
5 straight 70 games.
Yeah.
You're right.
Devin Booker's plus 50,000 if you like those odds.
Man, you know who likes those ones? PHNX. PHNX really likes those odds, those long odds. So minus 110 and 105?
Yeah. Minus 105, plus 110.
Plus 110. I mean, that's neck and neck, man. That's neck and neck. They're basically saying it's a coin flip. I will say, I do think the next straw poll comes out not too long from now.
Oh, my God.
How do you think this will affect, on all sincerity, how do you think this will affect the MVP conversation?
I think that is just so fresh, so new. And people are, what have you done for me lately? They're going to remember that. So Embiid has to come back and really put up like 50-point games to try to salvage this. And also, I think that they play like the Celtics. Like, they play some really good teams. Like, he's going to have to go crazy in those games. It actually puts him in a disadvantage where now he has to go back to proving himself. And this was the night to prove it where he could just put it all.
I can't believe this was supposed to be my night, man. I mean, I got the hot dog. That was great.
That was good, yeah.
But it was going to be like the greatest, whole night of my
You
whole
wore your
life.
Serbia shirt for it.
I did. I rocked my courtside fit.
You did rock your courtside fit. Unbelievable.
All for nothing, dude.
Oh man, what would have been a par outcome for him? Like, what is if he would have played? What is the equivalent to whatever happened tonight?
Oh,
Because if he would have come out tonight and Yoke dominates and they dominate and win, I feel like his odds would be even lower than that. So what would have been a par?
If they came out and
If
got
he came
beat
at 20
by 20, he had to sit for half the game.
You think it would have been the same as what happened? So he made the smart decision then, I guess.
I think that this was the long play of if I just honestly,
He made
if
a
I
business
don't
decision.
play, they can't say he played any better than me. They're going to go off of the last time that we played where I clearly won that matchup.
Yeah.
I think that was the idea. So if I avoid it completely, we just have to go off of the last time I played him.
and then again, the timing of all of these stories dropping. I imagine in his head he was like, well, I'm not playing, so at least there's some cover fire here. People will be reminded of my dominance. I don't have to actually show it because they can read the fine work of don't even know the people.
Sham Charania
Sean Strania
and The Athletic, I believe.
No, what was the guy on ESPN that wrote the
Kurt Goldsberry. I forgot.
Kurt
There
Goldsberry.
was I even forgot there was a full court press
That's
today.
what I'm saying. There was a full
my God.
court press. So I woke up already in fight mode, and then when Embiid said that we reported that Embiid wasn't playing, I lost my mind.
Vogt should be joining us from the arena. I can't wait to hear everything that he had to say, including interview what he described as like a perturbed Nikola Jokic. Sounds like Nikola Jokic doing post-game was not exactly excited. I'm sure.
This feels like this was my fault.
Why?
I was so close to him all night.
Oh, no. I think it was because he had to go to the podium tonight to answer a bunch of MVP questions.
I'm sure.
And I'm sure he was in absolute literal hell. Well, this win puts Denver at 51 wins, 24 losses. They're now 3.5 games up from Memphis. Of course, 4 games effectively when you talk about the tiebreaker. And there's only 8 to go. Their magic number becomes 4 now.
Oh, boy.
Denver does have some tough games coming up. They do get 2 days off, but there was a little bit of a shaky moment there for Denver. They went on that losing streak, and we started to wonder, like, crap, it's almost over.
Philly has lost 4 of 5, by the way.
Are you just like Denver did?
Yes. When it was no longer Jokic was no longer able to be eligible for the MVP award because the Nuggets were reeling and they were unable to.
Mm-hmm. What place were they in?
As far as I can remember, I think first. I think they've been in first place for something like 4 months now.
If Denver didn't have that losing streak, they would have clinched tonight. And maybe it would have sucked because we would have been like, now would have been the slump or whatever.
I know.
And by the way, Philadelphia closer now to the 4 seed than the 2 seed. Isn't that wild? They are 3 games back of the 2 seed in the East. And they are 1.5 games up of the 4. There is a chance that Philadelphia falls to the 4 seed. Can you imagine if him sitting out tonight actually cost them the 4? And then that will ruin his MVP odds.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I can't even.
I'm telling you how this is going to play out. I actually know exactly how the MVP. I can't believe he got me to care. I'd honestly blocked caring all along, and then they find a way to pull me in. Here's how it's going to play out. Somebody sent this either in the chat one time or on Twitter. This is exactly how it's going to play out. People don't want to vote for Yoke, even though they think he deserves it. And I understand it. Look, people get nervous about historical precedent or what people will say. Embiid is going to get 35% of the first place votes.
Yep.
Giannis is going to get 45 of the first place votes.
Guys,
Jokic will get 20. I think that's my math is right. 20% of the remaining votes.
100%.
But 100% of the second place votes, and he will end up winning the MVP. This is exactly how this is going to play out.
Oh my God! I mean, it would be great, except for that it would be terrible unless
it would be great. Nobody cares about how it happened. You just want your guy to get the MVP.
That's a great point. Sometimes you can lose the popular vote, but still win through the Electoral College. We've learned this in American history.
I think it's great. Honestly, I think that is how it's going to play out. Even with the Embiid, I hope that he makes a late push. Just to get more of those votes, because really, you're gonna have to go with Jokic second, all together, and that's just the people that are not gonna look at this game and say, "Okay, I can do that." There's gonna be the people that say, "Hey, that's what I'm gonna go for."
Let's go. We got live from Ballerino, and then we have Brendan Vogt himself. He was at the arena, not courtside though. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Not courtside, and not on the premium Wi-Fi. It looks.
Oh no! Do we have slow vote?
Slow vote.
Unbelievable. It's like I'm Harrison Wind or something. What's going on?
Oh, what a bird.
You guys ever notice how I'm ready to go. I'm just going to run over you here because of the internet. But have you guys ever noticed how Wind gets really upset when the internet doesn't work? Like he takes it personally?
No, he gets upset when we point it out.
Yeah.
It's like it's our fault.
Right.
Like, Wind, your interface bad. Shut up, you guys. Shut up.
You're like, not a criticism of you. Okay, anyway.
Just a peek behind the curtain. Wind does not like any of us. Anyway, go ahead.
Hold on, real quick, Vogt. Before you get to whatever was said tonight, we're talking. I'm not gonna lie. Today's show was different from most. We didn't do a fast breakdown. We didn't even do big takeaways. We basically have just been talking trash about the coward Joel Embiid for not playing tonight.
This show was built different.
The show is very built different tonight. But we'll give you an opportunity. I mean, you haven't heard any of our takes. How do you feel about how it all went down?
But I bet you can guess them.
I mean, listen. There's a thing called benefit of the doubt. It would be easier to hand out if he had played these games in the past, if those quotes didn't come out today. if he hadn't been ducking this matchup for years. But he has, and so there is no benefit of the doubt. I'll say this: I think he is hurt. I'll also say this: strange choice of games to play this week.
To your point, there is this like in the last 7 times or 6 times in Denver he's played once. He's played one out of the last time. It was when Jokic hit a game winner in his eye. Yes. No wonder he'll never play again.
So stupid.
Honestly, the softest thing I've ever seen in my life.
The other thing I love about it is I saw some people like, he's really hurt, man. Are we doing this? It's Bush League. I'm like, he has a calf strain. He'll live. Everyone needs to grow up.
I know this whole, we need to give athletes a space, man, to heal from. They're like, guys, he's not dead. And he also did a press tour talking trash about Nikola Jokic.
They're like, mental health is health. Like, give him his space.
It's like it's his calf, not his fine.
Dude, you can't text Shams and be like, hey, can we wait a week? Can we wait?
No, I'm telling you, it's not that he would have to have proactively texted Shams. Shams texted him and was like, are you cool if I drop this today? And he's like, yes, today's the day. Yep, exactly. Yeah, today's the one I want you to drop it on. Anyway, take us to the game. Do you have some game notes real quick, too?
Game notes?
No, not the game notes. I'm saying, do you have a thought about this game?
Yeah, what's the starting lineup?
I was like, I know who everyone was guarding and everything. No, the game was good, man. The energy was really good tonight, actually. I think there was I was worried it would be like substitute teacher energy, you know? Everyone prepped for the exam and then you're just watching a movie. But there was real... I actually had to double check what day of the week it was. It was a real Friday, Saturday energy in here. I think, Eric, you can attest to that. So I think fans were ready to party, and there was something, in a way, guys, like if when you woke up this morning, what you wanted was, man, I hope he outplays Embiid tonight. In a way, I think this is everyone was realizing in real time what a hilarious outcome this is and how awesome it is. And, there was a real festive atmosphere in the air until the fourth quarter.
There was a bunch of like I saw a bunch of father-son Philly fans today in the crowd. You know, like brought his boy to see Embiid.
Yeah.
No, I saw a lot of that tonight. It was a Nuggets crowd. No, it was. I'm just saying the 76ers fans I saw, a lot of father-son duos. And I just kept thinking, like, that's a tough conversation on the drive home. Like, all Embiid jersey. Like, I'm sorry, son. He's a coward.
Yeah, you're like, look at that father-son duo from Philly. Just sharing a cigarette. Talking about Joe.
It's just very funny. I just like that. Well, didn't he play a back-to-back 2 days ago? Yeah, well, yes, but
they're like,
not tonight.
Can we stop and get some water? All right, go ahead.
I was talking to a Sixers fan tonight, and I was like, you got to feel good about the team heading into the playoffs, right? He was like, yeah, not really. just a deep fear.
I'm telling you, like Eric said, they lost 4 out of 5. How did we feel when the Nuggets lost 4 out of 5? We were not very confident. Yet that's where they are right now.
Not
only for them, half of it is because they're cowards. All right, let's move on. Take us behind the scenes.
Let's get these game notes in. We did speak with Michael Malone. Important theme from the post-game pressers. Perspective was there, but these guys were not happy with the fourth quarter. Sometimes they come out and the messaging is just, hey, a win's a win. We're not going to trip on it. We know we need to do better. Tonight, the messaging was the opposite. Tonight was, this cannot happen. We're glad we won, but we got to be better in the fourth, and we know that. Like Michael Malone said, quote, if we're going to be a team that makes a deep playoff run, we can't play like that. Lost control of the game, turnovers, and too many fouls, which I thought was a big part of it. The defense got, I thought,
if we're going to make a deep playoff run, we can't blow a lead to Montrezl Harrell and Jaden Springer. I don't think that's going to be an issue in the playoffs, but okay.
No, but he's also right? Like I think Denver's perspective this year more than ever is it's about us, especially in this building. We focus on what. Yeah. All right. Anyway, we can move on. It's cool, bro.
Okay.
You may have noticed that Jeff Green was closing this game over Aaron Gordon, and by may have noticed, I mean may have been throwing a fit about it to yourself while watching the game. Malone spoke on that choice. It wasn't that he was playing Jeff over Aaron Gordon. That's on me, he said, and I told Aaron that after the game. I thought maybe we wouldn't have to get him back out there, and we could close with Jeff. But then once that lead elapsed, guys, Malone went on to say, then it had been too long, and he realized he'd be pulling AG cold off the bench to play crunch time. which isn't fair for a variety of reasons. He called it a, quote, poor coaching decision on my part, end quote. And that little interaction that Wind was tweeting about at the end of the game, if you caught that on TV, that was in fact Malone explaining to Aaron Gordon what went into that decision. No harm, no foul, no personal feelings. Tyrese Maxey scored 25 points in the first half, only 4 in the second. Malone loves those halftime adjustments. That was something he brought up. It was a challenge to his guys. They gave up 39 points in that second quarter, but the question was, how are they scoring? And the answer is just one-on-one blow-bys, particularly Tyrese Maxey. So they needed to be better, and they were in the second half. And that was it, guys. There was a very, very brief pause between questions. Malone took his opportunity, stood up and left. So maybe the quickest Malone presser of the year. Then we heard from Bruce Brown, who, again, that theme carried over of he was not thrilled with the way this game.
For some reason, it sounds really good on our end, but apparently in the crowd, they're saying it's a really, really bad echo. So we're going to have to cut this one off, unfortunately. I know, bummer. I don't know what it is. We're obviously on a new headset tonight. Sounds great to me. You sound beautiful, but apparently to the people, it's too echoey. So get home safe. We'll see you here in a couple days. Thanks for ducking us tonight.
Yeah. Cowardly.
Nuggets.
What a cowardly performance by Brendan Vogt tonight.
All right. So we it sounded like it was too much of an echo there. We don't know what it is. We thought we had solved the echo from the arena problem, but we're on a new headset today.
First off, let's troubleshoot this in real time.
Okay.
How could there be an echo? Like, the echo always comes because we have a speaker that plays so that we can hear it, so that it gets picked up by our microphones.
Unclear exactly how it happened, but we will be able to get to Super Chats here. So, Cal, do you want to I know we had a couple Super Chats at least come in. How many do we have? 20. Oh, wow. 20 Super Chats still came in.
Holy smokes. And these are all.
And don't forget, we still have
Garcia.
right there for Luis Garcia. We still have an opportunity for you guys to donate with us. We appreciate you guys rocking with us for this event. This one comes from Seth. He says, great to see the Nuggets and Avs both taking down the Ducks tonight.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
So the Anaheim Ducks went down, and then...
and the Philadelphia Ducks.
Yeah, that's a great one. 10 out of 10 Super Chat.
That
was a good one. That was it. Big Namek says, Embiid stat line tonight, 0.0 rebounds, 0 MVPs. I do have to say this. I appreciate the entire internet clowning him today.
Truthfully, even if he does end up winning the MVP, things don't change. Just having to endure the internet today is punishment enough for this unseemly behavior.
Especially because he's a person that is online. And also, I love that Drew Hanlon now has to defend him for the next week or so.
God.
He's going to.
Tomorrow he's going to go crazy. He's actually asleep right now, I'm sure, getting ready to defend tomorrow.
I think he's looking in the mirror trying some things out. Like, Michael Jordan once missed. Hold on. Kareem? Well, all right.
Nick Wright will be like, I'm a Luka guy anyway.
He is a Luka guy. He's a big-time Luka guy. That was a good one. And Andy Bailey is in the chat. He says, sitting next to Superstar Dev is an honor and a treat, as would be a follow from D-Line.
I did it in the first...
Well, he said it early, man.
Listen, man. Hold on. Listen. You know how sometimes you assume you're following somebody?
Is that what this is?
Yeah, because you see their tweets all the time. Andy Bailey, very popular on Twitter, very well seen. I just thought I was following him. Now I'm embarrassed.
Yeah,
and
well,
I'm also a little tickled that he would be offended that I wasn't following him.
Big fan of yours. Well, he was.
He was formerly.
He was, yeah. Josh from Down Under. He says, mini choke got me my multi-parlay Philadelphia plus 8.5 max overs into Nuggets win, knowing we'd play silly buggers. I think I read this really bad. Is this supposed to rhyme?
Hold on.
I think he wants you to do it in the Australian accent.
My multi-parlay. The mini choke. So he bet for Philly to
be
plus 8.5. So the mini choke
him out,
allowed him to hit the mini. He got the max overs.
Yep.
In his into Nuggets win, knowing we play silly. But he's saying that he bet on Philly, knowing that the Nuggets.
But I think he wanted you to do it. He wanted to do it in the Australian accent. He wanted you to.
I don't think he did.
Crikey, still won on my birthday, mates. I can't do it.
We still
in my heart to Colorado too.
We still
silly buggers. What is that?
Well, we're not sure. Adam's Australian accent,
not that
borderline racist.
It's not true. But Josh, sincerely, man, you know you're a first teamer, absolute first teamer. So happy birthday, brother. I'm glad you won your parlay. How awesome is that?
His multi.
His multi. You know, it's funny though. It sucks when your birthday's on a Monday. What a bummer, man.
No.
Just go to work.
But what a treat at the same time.
But at the same time. Evan says, Joel Embiid is a female dog. Somehow sounds worse to say that, doesn't it?
It does say worse. So.
At least
At least when you call him a bitch, you've not dehumanized him.
You have. You actually
no
have.
MVP of mine Ducks matchups. What a joke. In contrast, Giannis was second night of back-to-back and had issues. Played Embiid as a coward. Giannis or Jokic for MVP.
Yeah.
Listen, no lies told. I hope Giannis wins it if Jokic
It is
doesn't.
crazy. Through tonight, my respect for Giannis has gone through the roof.
Through the roof. He came in and got his ass kicked last night. And guess what?
But yeah, his team did. But he played well. He matched Jokic's.
Yeah, but he got his ass kicked. I'm just saying. Guess what? The news cycle moved on because that's what happens in sports. Everybody takes one on the chin every now and then. This is how it works.
Yep.
Mike Tyson got knocked out. Lance says.
He also went to jail.
Well, Lance says, tested out Modiz's theory, locked on, that Jokic is ramping up his threes for the playoffs and made a 3-point bet on Jokic tonight. He shot none tonight. Listen.
That's why you don't. That's why you save takes from that show. Let's save it over there, dude.
I'm telling you, though, I'm right about this. It's just tonight was a joke of a game. Like I'm telling you, man, Jokic tonight. Dominant in first game. It was the laziest domination I've ever seen, man. He was so.
I wish I had been here on the pregame to warn those about betting on Jokic threes.
Well, I didn't bet on it today. I didn't make a bet on threes. I'm saying in general. I'll bet you his next game he takes some threes.
Okay, yeah.
Right, so
let's literally bet on that.
All right, next game I will. Speaking more broadly over here. Lance says, love the show. All love. Let's go Nuggets.
Let's go, Lance.
I like Lance's vibe.
Me too, man.
It was straight to the
I like
point.
the cut of that man's jib.
Freddie says, I predict Joker takes over the top spot for MVP after this game. Love the Nuggets. Love DNVR. Love everyone. Man, that's a lot of love, Freddie.
Freddie, baby.
That's a lot of love.
I know, for a day so filled with hate, we're coming out on top with love.
Yeah, that's so true. Jokic, though, I'm telling you guys, Jokic, we had that losing streak, and he lost the MVP. They start playing hard. You put him back in there, he's going to be like, God damn it.
I know.
No.
It's ridiculous.
All right, what else we got? 555 says, DNVR and myself were both at the game today after the 50th win. I was a cosmic sign of good things to come. Embiid is gunning for the MIA award. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
55555-ish. He came with last.
He did
That
come
was
with it, man.
Banger.
Hot-ish.
S2 tells us, love watching Joker play basketball. Incredible IQ and willingness to pass and make the right play, but will still give you 25 points. MVP times 3 Joker cards. Howell can't win it. That's too funny. I will say, I did. There was one pass Yoke made today, like a cross court, no look right to and then somebody hit a 3 from the corner. And I look over at the coaching staff, and one of the assistants was like, "Wow."
By the way, I saw S2 on my way up to the perch, which Adam ducked. Adam, a lot like Joel Embiid, was a no-show tonight at the perch.
I got stopped.
Oh,
I got stopped, and then I
see.
got in a conversation.
Sure,
and I had
and your calf was sore, as I understand.
my calf was
You know what I like about that? S2 goes to the games and then gets on and watches us on the way home.
Incredible.
Sure.
A lot of people do. A lot of people say they turn it on as they walk out the thing, and I love that. It's my favorite thing. Francois says, never forget that Embiid was on the number 6 Jayhawks team that lost on a buzzer beater to CU in 2013. He's been scared and playing a Colorado for years. How great is that?
They remember everything.
They remember everything. Was that RK in the chat? Hold on a second.
Receipts are forever.
Yeah, receipts are forever. I didn't even know that, but
Neither did I.
it sounds true.
When he says never forget, I'm learning it for the first time.
Yeah, but I won't forget it now. JC says, hot take, the Bruce Brown dunk was cooler than the Christian
that's a
Brown
good
dunk.
point.
Love the Crayola fam bringing the dunks.
I love
Brown.
brown,
Yeah, I got it.
green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. And
Brown, green.
Yeah, no white tonight, but what can you do? Technically not a color, right?
Not a color.
Okay, what else we got?
Oh, no. It's a reprise of my controversial tweet.
With 2 eyes. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. What else we got?
Oh, no.
Doc No says, Conspiracy Corner. Christian Brown actually knew March 27 was the exact day White Men Can't Jump came out in 1992. No joke. And save that dunk for today.
Wow.
How did you come about this information?
That is a banger.
That is a banger. How would you have come out with that specific detail of information?
No, he heard the comment earlier, and he was like, let's look at it. Let's look it up. That's crazy. That's a weird...
Yeah.
That's a good one.
We're in a simulation.
That one's a good one.
I'll have to ask him about that. I got a text from my mother tonight. Shout out to my mom.
Okay.
Shout out to my mom. A text, she said... Why does Bruce Brown...
Hashtag bitch?
No. She didn't do that one. She said, why does Bruce Brown rub his nipples so much?
And your answer was?
He's cold, Mom.
I'll ask him.
It's cold in Ball Arena.
I was like, oh, wow, all right. Walter says, prayers to Embiid and Philly fans. I hear that B2B MVP variant is as deadly as they come. Get well soon.
Oh my
he
God.
did. He got that back-to-back. He got that B2B MVP.
Oh my God.
Steve says, the MVP conversation won't matter when Embiid is sitting at home after the second round while Jokic is playing Giannis in the finals. Hope you're right.
Hope you're right.
Hope you're right, baby. Eloy says, Jokic wins his third MVP. Embiid would have to be totally dominant in order to win with as few games he's played. Not a precedent-setting year.
We'll see.
He's pretty good. Well, he's pretty good, but
we'll see.
Like we mentioned, also a coward. Hiker says, Conspiracy Corner, Kendrick Perkins will vote Jokic for MVP. That would be the absolute best.
Oh, my God.
And we get to see it, too. That's the best part
I'm
about
telling
it.
you, there's all these factions in the voting. I'm telling you, there's like voting blocks, and this is weird. It's gross.
This is what, hashtag this league.
This league, man.
Honestly, like, I can't stand the goddamn NBA. Day to day, I'm like, this is misery. All I want to do is watch Jokic play basketball. But now I'm like, I need to get Kendrick Perkins fired. I need to figure out. And then now I'm like, he rallied or railed against Embiid today. I'm like, is Kendrick Perkins my favorite analysis?
Bro, I saw a tweet
analyst?
today. I saw a tweet today from a blue checkmark Philly guy that was like, somebody had screenshotted all the times. He was like, Kendrick, thank you. Only guy in the media telling it like it is. Kendrick, with the fire every time. Only guy who sees how it is. And then side by side with today, this is the most propaganda. It's so funny. He had like nothing but receipts praising him. Not so much now. Mark says, love you guys. The best part of the day. Watched every post-game show. See you at 3 finals. By the way, anyone in Phoenix? Anyone in Phoenix out there? Yeah, you guys should. No, I was going to tell them they should crash the PHNX party and make it terrible, but I'm not going to suggest that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Especially do not do that.
That Phoenix series, man, it's coming. It's coming. Mike says Jokic is the basketball god, and Embiid revealed himself to be the basketball fraud. I like it because it rhymes. I'm not mad, just disappointed. Anyways, y'all are awesome. Sunglasses emoji. No, you are awesome. That was a good one.
Yeah.
And I love that. I'm disappointed, too. That's actually how I feel.
I know. I feel like that Philadelphia dad.
Oh, man. Most valuable Philadelphia. My guy was wearing the most valuable Philadelphia
Yeah, no, we
shirt
said
today.
earlier, like, I think he actually lost the most valuable Philadelphian today to Jalen Hurts.
Man, that is tough. That is really tough. Trent said, Eric was on the court tonight, but Embiid wasn't. I guess Joel Embiid was working on another article begging for MVP. So true.
It's true.
Absolutely was. Somebody did say that. Adam, you're sitting closer to the bench than Embiid is tonight.
That's
It
true.
was true. It was accurate.
Put me in, coach.
I was on the bench. I showed up. Where was he at? Duncan says, it's not Embiid's fault, it's Doc's fault. Always Doc's fault. We don't win because of him, but regardless of him, Glenn Rivers' fault. Is that somebody does a Philly fan just super chat us to blame Doc Rivers?
Listen, I might do the same thing. If I was so beleaguered
That's
with
true.
Mike Malone and I was like, no one in Denver will listen to me. I need to go outside where I know it's already hostile territory and they understand.
That is being down so bad, man. They are down bad.
I might do it.
Nick Johnson says, I've been ducking super chats like Embiid ducks Denver. I love this.
This
Thought I'd
is
donate
first
as
one.
many dollars as Embiid has stats. Instead, $10 for 10 times 20, 15, 10. Trip tying Wilt and Oscar in a season. Not since Wilt.
Not since Wilt,
Hey,
baby.
new Not Since Wilt just dropped. New Not Since Wilt just dropped. Did you guys see that? He has the most games now. Was it 20, 15, 10? Is that what they said in a season? 10
Not
of them?
since Wilt.
Yeah, so it's not, I mean, again, people say stat padding. Like, stat padding is, I have 6 assists, or I need all these stats at the very end, so I'm going to pad him. Yoke's third quarter, he's got 17 rebounds.
He had a triple-double in the third quarter.
Come on, guys.
He actually was. He may have been on pace for one of the fastest triple-doubles of all time again, but Aaron Gordon missed an alley-oop that would have given him the triple-double in the second.
Man.
that'd
Brian
be
S. says, met Eric at the game tonight right behind the Nugs PR section, and he introduced himself to me and my pops. Rock on. Much love to the DNVR crew. Go Nugs.
Let's go,
I love
dude.
it. Hey, good job, man.
Man, he finally does something good around
I gotta
here.
tell you something. Tonight was the closest I ever felt to a celebrity.
Really?
Yes, people were asking to take their pictures with me. People
Why?
People were like calling me out by name. They were like, "Hey, Eric,
They
fuck
said,
you."
They said Eric.
They didn't call you D-line?
They called you Eric?
No, they do. They call me D-line. No, it was truthfully like it was bizarre. I mean, like for me, it's crazy because I go there and I'm like, ugh, like my eyes are wide open, and then RG's just sitting there where he sits every game, and Brendan Vogt's like, oh, he doesn't care. I'm like, this is incredible, isn't it? And then people are like, D-line, you suck, stuff like that.
You suck. Boo, they're booing you. I love it. Overrated.
Make a shirt about Embiid, bitch.
Chase says MVPs don't duck their main competition. Did Bird duck Magic in LA? No. They battled, and the parties were wild afterwards. Well, the parties were very wild afterwards.
Think about being named Bird and not ducking.
Holy smokes, dude. You know your audience. You start making bird jokes.
That was the best. I'm voting you for MVP of the show. That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. Last one? That's it. Oh, that was it. All righty. There you go. You can cue that outro music there, Kale.
What a treat.
What a treat. 2 shows in a row. Almost light on basketball talk today, but I just felt like it was warranted. I mean, this was not a very compelling basketball game in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, at least we got to see our DraftKings Sportsbooks pick of the game. King of the game.
What? Did we not see King of the Game? That's right. We got to put it up. DraftKings Sportsbook. King, thank you. King of the Game. Nikola Jokic going against Dwayne Dedman. 25, 17, and 12. Monster stat line. And honest to God, I'm telling you, he took a nap in the second quarter. Still dropped that line. Unbelievable performance from our King. Never one to duck, man. Never one to duck.
No.
We appreciate everybody that came out to the bar tonight. We appreciate everybody that donated to the family of Luis Garcia. As we've mentioned, man, Denver East is on the doorstep of the DNVR bar, literally across the street, across York Street from our bar. So we appreciate, obviously, the family reaching out, friends reaching out, but we also appreciate everybody that donated and kind of made this a little bit more meaningful today and used, all of our collective this thing we've built together to do something good and something positive. I just think it's cool that we're in position to be able to do these kind of things.
Last minute super chat. D-line, your fit is fire. Championship fit. Let it breathe. Just let it breathe, fellas.
Any closing thoughts?
I'm ready to get back to winning. Getting back to wins that matter.
Getting back, dude. We've won like 4 in a row.
Yeah, but this one didn't count. There was like the eye test, and then there's analytics, and you have to go deep into that. Did this one actually count?
This was such a win pad, man. This was a win pad.
Dude, the Nuggets done been back. We're back.
We're back, baby.
We're back, man.
All right, we're off tomorrow, guys. We're taking Tuesday off since we're going to be back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So enjoy your extended break from us. I know I certainly will.
Hit that like button for us on the way out.
Oh, last one. The hater homie.
The hater homie
Ball.
came in?
Laking Ball says, Jason Tatum, MVP next year, please.
Next year? All right.
Well, next year. He knows it's not this year.
He's pleading for an MVP.
Hey, here's the key, Laking Ball. You have to play well, but then when you play the good teams, just sit, man. That's the key. That's how you do it.
Simple.
Just sit out, man. Didn't you learn anything from tonight? All right, hit the like button on the way out.
Let's go.